Good evening and welcome to week 5 of the live interactive session of Neuroscience for Engineers. The course instructor is Professor Vikas V of Nimans, Bangalore. I am the teaching assistant Vikas Pandey from IIT Jodhpur. So, as in the previous class, we missed some questions of week 4. So, we will first be covering the week 4 and then we will go to week 5. Fine. So, we will first cover some questions of week 4, then we will move forward. So,
Okay, sir, we'll go.
yeah, this is a brief about me. And yeah, let's start with our problem one. What is the primary function of the optic nerve? It, is it to control the eye movement, transmitting light signal from the eye to the brain, mediating taste sensation, or sensing pain in the face? Yes, any answers?
Transmitting signals from the eye to the brain and
Uh,
controlling eye movement also. A and B are there.
Controlling eye movement. Okay.
Some other
Uh,
nerves are responsible, but
yeah,
we are
to control
few
the eye
place.
movement, uh, optic nerve is not responsible. Optic nerve is only a sensory nerve, which only carries the sense, which
Uh,
only carries the light signals.
But
It does not
he was
control.
explaining in that lecture,
Hmm.
some nerves are responsible for the
Yes,
eye movements and all, but it is
yeah,
not called as optical nerve.
yeah. It is not
There are
called as optic nerve.
four optical nerves are there. Two, three,
Yeah,
4 and 6.
six. Yeah,
He was explaining like that.
yes, yes. There are many like four optical nerves, and they are categorized with numbers, but they don't control the movement of the eye. They are only responsible for transmission of the light signal. Fine. So let's
Yes.
move forward to problem 2. Which structure divides the skull cavity into supra and infra compartments? Remember, in the previous lecture also we were discussing supra is to,
Uh,
towards the top, infra that is towards the bottom or
I
towards
think
left.
it's Tendorium C.
Okay. Okay, no one else is there, so let's go with your answer only, which is correct. Okay. It's membrane. That is the membrane that divides the skull cavity into two compartments, supra and infraterial.
In front.
Yeah. Okay. Which cranial nerve is responsible for the sensation of smell? Olfactory nerve,
Uh,
optic, facial, or vagus?
Sensation of the smell. One, two, three, four, five, six. I must be 10. 10. D.
D. Okay.
I'm doing elimination. Whether it is correct. It is.
It is
Or
olfactory
olfactory.
nerve. Yeah.
Olfactory. First one.
Uh,
Yes.
and
Okay, I got it. I have doubt because
yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 I have no. 1
yeah.
and 10 I don't know. So
One and
but,
okay. So
elimination 50-50.
50-50 it is. Yeah. And olfactory nerves, it is the only part of the brain, it is said, that is quite exposed to the outer environment. So, if you see your nose, uh, you will be able to observe the last part of the olfactory nerves. Okay, they are available at the upper part of the nose. So, if it is seen clear, this is the only exposed, or you can say a very open part that directly connects with the outer environment.
Sir, I remember that Corona time we checked this thing, testing
Mm. Yes,
RT-PCR.
yeah,
That time this
they
must
used to
be needle
they
must be
used to
touched with the nerve, nerve
yeah,
or brain
no,
also it may be reached. We feel like
no,
that.
not that much. It is done till here only. Nerves are at the top. Uh,
Okay.
COVID was like while testing, it was not going that
Uh,
much.
okay.
But
Okay.
yes, it felt like it is going that
Yeah.
much.
Yes, sir. Have you done, sir, RT-PCR in two, three
Yeah,
times? At least you must have.
multiple times because
Yes, yes,
even
yes.
that time I just joined PhD, and
Yes,
to
yeah.
come to the campus I had to go to through
Produce
RT-PCR.
that certificate.
Yeah,
Yes.
and as well as inside the campus, whenever we went out for some work and come back, we had to do RT-PCR and 14 days isolation and all. Yeah, so let's move to the next question. Which cranial nerve is involved in controlling the muscles of facial expression?
That must be
Olfactory,
five. No,
5.
that is two, three, four, and six are other one, and then tegmental nerve may be the facial expression, or C. Okay, again
That
problem.
is
I
fa-
forgot.
facial nerve itself is there, so
C.
I think that will be
Okay.
the obvious answer. Yeah,
Uh,
it. Uh,
but in that first fifth one is something else actually.
yeah,
Two, three, four, and six is connected to I.
I. Yes. So numbering also I have suffered a bit, and this facial nerve is responsible for facial movement. So remember,
Yes.
in optical nerve, uh, there is no movement of eyes, but in case of facial nerve, there is movement of faces.
No, but
Right?
sir, optical nerves actually around two, three, four, six. Four nerves
Yeah,
are there.
four nerves are
In
there.
that,
Yeah.
I think some nerves are taking care of these movements.
Hmm. No, not the optical nerves.
Optical nerve may be one in the. I don't know. It is
Yeah.
four. Maybe one may be the optical nerve.
Yeah. One is the optical. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Through which foramen does the spinal cord exit the skull? That means
Exit the
like
skull.
skull,
Uh,
like it is connected to the skull, right? So if we
uh,
see from the top, from where the skull exits the spinal cord, sorry, spinal cord exits the skull. It's
I
optical
understand.
canal.
That is a some hole is there from that
Yes.
top when you see.
So it is jugular
One,
foramen.
one, B or C? I'm not sure.
Okay, B or C. It's the C, foramen magnum.
Magnus.
It's a large opening at the base of the skull.
Uh,
If you see at the
yes,
back,
yes,
like
yes, sir.
when the sir was showing the skull, you can
Yeah, yeah,
see it.
yeah.
So
I have
they will.
understood, but
Yeah.
remembering the names is very difficult.
It's very difficult, and
Okay,
like
maybe we are not to that. Maybe
yeah,
some logic will be there. Maybe for some meaning will be there. Magnum
yes,
maybe another meaning. So they could
mm,
medical people could able to
could
remember.
remember it. Yeah, it is just that in these weeks mostly there are terms, a lot of terms.
Mm,
So we are going with that. Once we start with the technical things, I think it will be easier to understand them. At
okay.
least we will have a correlation. We'll know that what is being talked
Somebody
about.
were there na, for medical background. Someone then they can
Yes,
explain what is the meaning of
yes,
magnum.
some people were there. Yeah. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Which cranial nerve is responsible for vision? So again, this
That
is
is already optical
rephrasing of
nerve.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is the optic nerve. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is the function of vestibular cochlear nerve? It is for smell,
Uh,
taste, hearing and balance, or facial muscle.
Hearing and balance. See.
Hearing and balance. Okay. And then which which part of the
Uh,
brainstem is considered the seat of life
I
due to
think
its
medulla.
control?
Medulla.
Medulla. Yeah, medulla or medulla
Medulla
oblongata.
oblongata.
Yeah, because they are responsible for functions like heart. It is responsible for functions like heart rate and
Breathing,
respiration,
heart rate, plus that
respiration.
sneezing and
Yeah,
coughing also.
even vomiting sensation is from
Yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah. Then, which structure serves as a relay station for signals
That
within the
is
brain?
that is thalamus.
Thalamus. So it's then what is the space called that is located between the chordata head, thalamus, and the amygdala? Interthalamic adhesion, lentiform nucleus, internal capsule, or pyramidal space?
Pyramidal space. I have not
Pyramid.
that much sure, but I had not remember, but must be that.
Yeah, yeah, it is pyramidal space. Okay.
Triangle space is was
Yeah, the
saying.
triangular space between this
Yes.
chordata head, thalamus, and the
Some
amygdala.
amygdala.
Yeah, like thinking also we can say that it is between three things, so it must be a pyramid kind of structure.
Not sir. He is explaining with the clay and all. I have seen this
Yeah,
space. Mm.
uh,
Actually, tell him to don't use clay. There are artificial clay is there for my baby I bought. It's very
yeah,
simple and we can make it without your hand dirty. It's very
yeah.
easy to make
You
different
can
different things.
post your suggestions in the discussion forum
No,
of
no, I'm
the.
saying next time when you do, instead
Hmm,
of this clay well, and all, no, so in
yeah,
screen it's not looking good. So you can
yeah,
use different colors of clay. It means
colors.
artificial clay. It is called
Yeah,
some what
uh,
I will say. It
yeah.
is very good.
Stood. Yeah.
And
Now
you,
babies they use. Yeah.
people, children are playing with that one.
Yeah. So you can put these things in the, I think week-wise feedback is also there. Put that in there so that it will like helps her to make videos, like make better videos in future, right? So I have put only some questions of week four. Actually, they were mostly terms like this only. Okay, so let's move to question from week five. Okay, yeah. Which now I think you have covered week five, right?
Week five, last one lecture is pending. I was seeing
Okay.
in today, but I couldn't
Yeah.
complete.
Not an issue. We'll be discussing most of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So it is more like start of the MRI and imaging techniques, right?
MRI, yes.
Yeah. So let's start with all the questions that we
Okay.
discussed. We will discuss it one by one again, and then we will complete it. So, which imaging modality has the highest resolution and used for research on brain anatomy?
Resolution is around zero point 0.6 mm for MRI. You was saying must be MRI.
Mhm. 0.6 mm. This is having the highest resolution, and that
Yeah,
is the reason that it is very popular in
popular.
research projects. Yeah, very popular in research projects
Very
due
popular,
to,
but price is too much, sir. Very
but
because
now it has decreased a lot from what it used to be when all the things were imported. Yet parts are imported, but
but we
now it
can
has,
at least we can make it here. No, your IITs are there. We should start.
yeah, there are a lot of research going on in these fields, and don't
Because ordinary people cannot afford this much.
yeah,
MRI they will cost you 13 to 15K in private hospitals.
yeah. The problem is that we are generally focusing on copying things, which like we
Mm,
are trying to make things cheaper for things that do exist. Uh, the focus that need to be is to develop new techniques. What if we come
mm.
up with a technique that is much advanced than MRI?
Yeah, we are
The,
not leaders in the technology. We are copying
yeah,
people.
we are copying, and
Reverse
most of the,
reverse engineering.
yeah, and we are buying most of our equipments from outside. We are
Mm.
buying even
But
you see, I have
yeah,
to buy a small module like this. Just to bring this, it took around you can say around 45 days just for this to come to India because it is
it is
not being made in India.
what it is. That this one is a chip, sir.
This is yeah,
FPGA
this
card
is
or
FPGA kind of chip. Yeah,
FPGA
just
card.
because it is not being made in India, it is being made in outside
It
India.
it is
Uh,
used for what, sir?
it is used for this web form analysis. Like it is a small, you can say, impedance analyzer and oscilloscope kind of module. Okay, like you can connect it with your PC or computer, and then you
No,
can
not
do the
encryption module, hardware encryption.
no hardware encryption. It's a very simple module.
Symbol card, but it is not there,
Simple.
sir. Amazon, you must have tried.
No, not available.
Not
This is
available.
from National Instruments, Digiland.
Uh,
Okay,
uh,
and so it's not available here. And the cost to bring it here, actually, like if we directly buy it there in US or something, it would have cost almost one third of what it costs. So that is
Sir,
the problem.
actually, in my office, I'm the academic interaction officer, sir. I'm
Yeah,
doing these boards, research boards,
yeah, okay,
DRDO. Ka. So if
yeah,
you
yeah,
want to want anything, you tell and project proposal you do, we will give.
yeah. Certainly,
If
I'll
any,
try that. Like I will talk with my supervisor also to
yeah,
have
yeah.
such
Yeah,
products. Yeah,
basically naval research board. Like that, many research boards are there where
yes,
we'll fund these things.
yeah.
Okay.
This is also a research board only, like specially made for this small
DST
projects.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
small testing our sensors. Like I'm
Mm.
working on hemp sensors, so testing those sensors.
Okay. Sir, why you come to this neural science? How you know this professor?
Uh, no, like I am a Prime Minister Research Fellow, so we
PMO.
are supposed, yeah, we are supposed to teach or interact for
Oh.
some hours throughout the year.
But
So I took this
your
course.
research topic is not for this one. Research area is
Yeah,
not
my
this.
research area is not this one, but
Oh.
yes, I am also learning as well as the next part of this, where microfabrication and these things are being covered by Professor Hardik Jitendra Pandya. That is my part. Like I work in that field. So
Microfabrication of
yeah,
chips and
microfabrication, yeah, chip and all. So I work in that area. So the starting part I am not very expert in, but the next part I am working on that part. So that is something
okay. Okay.
I have some
That is
expertise.
uh, uh,
Yeah.
so after 6 weeks it will go to microfabrication of chip
Yes,
sensor
yes,
and all.
sensors
Oh,
and all, because these
oh,
are the thing that which will be actually used. Learning
oh,
the brain, we are trying to replicate that in real life scenario and making some electronic devices. That part will be covered.
okay.
Okay. So let's move to our next question. Okay. I think we discussed it last time also, right? In
This
which
is
format are
DICOM.
MRI? Yeah, type.
Yeah,
And
DICOM.
the full, do you remember the full form of DICOM?
You only told that day, so you must be remembering.
Yeah, digital
Digital
image
imaging and communication in
communications
medicine.
in medicine. Yeah, and there are, like we discussed, there are different
Some other.
encryption techniques for all of this. They have different properties. Like JPEG is one of the most commonly used one because it is having best compression technique without losing quality. It yields good results. But since we want no lossless saving, so it is DICOM. TIFF is also there, but TIFF is not able to keep a lot of data. The file size becomes very big. Okay. So next is, what is the purpose of windowing in MRI imaging? Is it to adjust the brightness of the image, to adjust the contrast of the image, to change the resolution of image, or to add color to the image?
Maybe contrast, sir, because resolution we
Contrast.
cannot change. Machine gives resolution.
Machine is
Color
having
is
the
not there. Only
resolution.
grayscale
Yeah.
is there. Yeah, yeah.
It's the method to adjust the image contrast so that we can differentiate between structures, manipulating the distribution of pixels within the specified range. Which sequence is specifically designed to differentiate between gray and white matter in the brain? T1, T2, flare, or cis?
This I have no idea, sir. This is,
Okay. It is the T1. It's a weighted sequence in MRI imaging. It is specifically designed so that gray and white matter in the brain can be differentiated, providing high contrast between the tissue type. So remember that we talked about what is the gray matter and what is white matter. So the previous weeks actually help us that now we know that what is a gray matter, what is a white matter, why we need to differentiate it, and that's why now when we are learning about MRI and these things, we need to know like what technique is being used and why they are relevant. They are having different, you can say, different color or different specificity, and that's why we are able to identify them using this weighted sequencing. Okay. What does FM, fMRI reveal about brain activity? Structural abnormality.
fMRI.
Yeah, it's structural
fMRI,
abnormality.
fMRI and normal MRI, what is the difference, sir?
That I think is it's covered.
fMRI is more advanced, but
Yes.
must be structural abnormalities, no? Because
Mm. So do you remember what is fMRI?
no, I don't remember. So that's why I asked. MRI, okay. fMRI, I did. He said only it is advanced. First
It
two,
is
three lectures only I covered.
MRI. We know, right? Magnetic image. F stands for functional.
Oh. So
Uh,
more resolution may be there.
it's not mostly about resolution. It is more about changing blood flow.
Blood flow. Oh.
Yeah, as the brain activity happens, what are the changes in the blood flow that can be structured or can be
So with
observed using.
contrast, we'll put some. That is fMRI, sir.
No, no. fMRI is primary.
Normal machine is different. Same MRI we cannot take fMRI.
fMRI is having some extra functionality, like it will, along with MRI, it will have some more features, you can say. Advanced form of MRI.
Whatever MRI machines we are seeing in our
Mm.
hospital is not
Yeah, they are
fMRI. Na?
mostly fMRI. Even.
Okay.
Like now, mostly they are fMRI. Which structure divides the cranial cavity in supratentorial and infratentorial compartments? Like we discussed just some
Yeah,
questions
that is
back, I
same
think.
tendorium only, no? Oh,
I think you are changing the answers now. It's tentorial, yeah,
yes.
right? So,
Yes, sir. Yes.
uh,
Same
it
thing we
is the,
discussed. No? Oh.
yeah, we discussed a bit before, like in the week 4, right? So it divides the upper and the lower one. Which ventricle communicates with the aqueduct of the pelvis?
That is third ventricle.
Third ventricle. The third ventricle connects uh, to the aqueduct of the
Mm.
pelvis
Mm.
to the fourth
Yes.
ventricle, right?
Yes.
What is the
Mm.
primary function of just a minute,
Corpus callosum. Okay.
corpuscle?
That is C, sir. Communication between cerebral hemispheres.
Cerebral hemisphere. So it's a uh, large bundle of nerve fiber that
Yes.
facilitates the communication between right and left cerebral hemisphere,
Yes.
allowing sensory, motor, and cognitive function to be integrated. Like it's not that right hand side of the brain works differently and left differently. So it's something like integration of all the functions. Okay.
Yes.
Which section of the brainstem contains the pyramid and forms the floor of the fourth ventricle?
Which section of the brain stem contains? So must be after first one is pons, then above the medulla oblongata, pons and midbrain, then thalamus. So must be midbrain
Okay,
or thalamus.
it's the
Huh?
medulla oblongata. Located brain stem. It is thing. So if we see
Oh, okay,
from the
okay. Fourth
central part,
frontal is other side.
yeah, from the other side,
Okay, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay. Got it.
contains the
Yes, yes.
pyramid and forms the floor of the fourth
Fourth,
ventricle.
fourth ventricle. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it is
Explain that.
yeah,
But from this side only we see medulla oblongata, pons, and then
yeah,
this one. Back side only this one is there. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
From different angles, we'll have to see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is the main function of the insular cortex? Mo- Motor coordination, visual processing, emotional regulation, or sensory integration?
It is in the front, sir, insular cortex, in the four frontal lobe. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Then it should be emotion regulation.
it is uh, located deep within the lateral sulcus and involves uh, emotion regulation, empathy, and self-awareness. It is also uh, having a role in the processing interoceptive sensory information. What is the significance of central sulcus in the brain anatomy? It separates frontal and parietal
Parietal.
lobes,
Mm,
divides the
that is
executing part from sensing part of the brain. It marks the boundary between cerebrum and cerebellum. It indicates the transition from gray to white matter.
sir. It separates the frontal and parietal lobes.
It is key landmark as it separates the motor cortex from the sensory cortex. Frontal,
But if you see the anatomy, frontal lobe and parietal lobe divided by one sulcus, no, sir.
yes, but
Correct,
it
no?
is asking central sulcus.
That is which sulcus? That is only central sulcus. It
Frontal and
divides the
parietal.
executing part from the sensing part of the brain. Okay, 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 correct, maybe correct.
It's executing. I am putting for the motor part. Okay, just
The motor and
playing with.
sensing is there. That also it
Yes,
is divides.
yes.
Yeah, that is correct. Correct. Yes, yes. Sorry, sir. No, correct.
Motor. Yeah.
So
When I
what separates frontal and parietal lobes? One
also a
boundary is there.
sulcus, but that is not central sulcus.
Okay, okay, okay.
Which imaging sequence provides the most detailed information about brain structure? T1 sequence, T2 sequence, flare, or contrast sequence?
Just now we said about T1 sequence. No?
Yeah. So it is the T1 sequence that provides high resolution images. What is the primary role of the falx and tentorium in brain anatomy? Separation of the frontal and parietal lobe, dividing cerebrum from cerebellum, protecting brain from impacting injury, providing structural support to the brain.
Frontal and first one is not there. That is some sulcus only. Then the second one, cerebrum, no. Protecting, maybe D, sir. Providing some support.
It's dividing
Cerebrum
the
and cerebellum.
cerebrum and cerebellum.
Mm.
So falx separates the two cerebral hemisphere, and tentorium separates the cerebrum from cerebellum.
Okay.
So like here you can see like
Mm,
frontal
I
and
have
back lobe. Which Structure is responsible for processing auditory information, sound information. Superior frontal gyrus, middle frontal gyrus, Hessel's gyrus, inferior frontal gyrus.
It is around. It is not superior. Uh, Middle. B or D, sir. I think middle or inferior.
Okay,
Any
let's
separate name
clear
for
that.
their? Yes, yes, separate name.
It's
Okay.
Hessel's gyrus.
Gyrus. Okay.
Yeah. Located on
It.
the outer surface
Okay.
of the temporal lobe.
Yes, yes. I remember that picture, but I couldn't
Yeah.
remember that name.
Name. Yeah, temporal, like whenever we talk about sound or like hearing sensation, it is related to temporal lobe. And this Hessel's gyrus, that is located on the outer surface of the temporal lobe. What landmark indicates the transition from third ventricle to the aqueduct? Foramen of Monro, foramen of Lucia, obex, or interthalamic adhesion.
I think A. Foreman of Monroe.
It's the foramen of Monro.
Mm. Just explaining that.
Which cranial nerve passes through the jugular foramen? Cranial nerve 1, that is the olfactory nerve. Cranial nerve 5, trigeminal nerve. Cranial nerve 9, or cranial nerve 12.
Must be 5. It is the or one. One or jugular formula means it is near the nose, no, sir?
Uh, which one? Olfactory?
This one, this no, no. This
Uh,
jugular foramen means that holes on the where it is near to the nose, or
it is the uh,
man.
jugular foramen and cranial nerve. Like it is
It is in
nine
down now, down hole
down, yeah,
only, na?
down, yeah. So it's not the olfactory one. It is the
Oh,
cranial nerve 9.
9, 9.
Yeah, that passes through the jugular foramen and cranial nerve 10. Uh,
Jugular foramen means what last time we discussed, no, something hole, spinal cord hole. That is jugular foramen, big hole or
jugular,
small
yeah, where from where it comes out.
spinal cord connecting.
Yeah, not a spinal cord. Jugular foramen will not be spinal cord, no?
Last time one foramen we are discussing now. That is
Yeah,
not jugular foramen.
no, that is not jugular foramen.
Okay, okay. Other foramen.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
uh, jugular foramen. What do you say?
Okay, I
A
will say.
pyramidal structure where this medulla is there, right? That part will be jugular foramen. So, like, not exactly the spinal one, but beyond it. Like, there are a lot of holes, right?
Mm.
Connecting the skull with our body. So, it is located somewhere deep inside, but yes, downside of the brain, of the skull, lower side of the skull. Which structure connects the pituitary gland to the brain? I think
Must be
this,
hypothalamus.
yeah, this
Hypothalamus.
we are already aware from our 11th, 12th, right? That it's connected to the brain through the hypothalamus via the pituitary stalk. Sequence provides information about blood flow in the carotid artery. T1, T2, flare or contrast.
Blood flow is you said an fMRI thing
Yeah.
functionally. No, no idea, sir.
Okay. Uh, it's the contrast sequence.
Contrast must be. I
So,
also thought about
yeah,
because
that is,
blood.
yeah, using the contrast sequence, it is used to visualize blood flow in vessels, such as the carotid artery. Which structure separates the superior and inferior parietal lobule? Calcarine sulcus, central sulcus, H-shaped sulcus, or preto-occipital sulcus?
Superior and inferior parietal lobe. So temporal lobe and parietal lobe, I know.
Yeah. Superior, when we say it is towards head, inferior, we say it's towards the leg. So, like
This one
upper
parieto
leg.
occipital sulcus, last one. But
Okay.
T. Oh, no.
It's the H-shaped sulcus. Divides the superior and inferior parietal lobule. Okay.
Oh, it is inside the parietal lobe.
Yeah.
Parietal lobe and
In the same
occipital
same
sulcus.
yeah. In
Okay.
it is separating the upper and lower part of the lobe.
Lower part of.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Whenever we are saying superior and inferior, or uh,
Mm-hmm.
like infra and this, no, it is more about like sir said at the beginning only. Superior
Mm.
is more about towards the head, or uh, because the body can go left, right, anyway, right? So they are not saying it as top and bottom. It is being said as superior and inferior. Superior is towards the top, inferior is towards the bottom. What is the primary function of the aqueduct in brain anatomy?
ചേട്ടാ ആദ്യം പോവാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു പിന്നെ ആള് പോകുന്നില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു എന്നോട് പോവാൻ പറഞ്ഞു പക്ഷെ
It's
എനിക്കിപ്പോ
regulating
പോവാൻ പറ്റില്ല.
cerebrospinal fluid flow, connecting the lateral ventricles, controlling sensory perception, or maintaining brain temperature.
ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു ജൂനിയേഴ്സിന് വിടാൻ പറഞ്ഞു അപ്പൊ ചേട്ടൻ അത് തീരുമാനിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. ആ ഡി ജി ആണ് കീനോട്ട് അഡ്രസ് പിന്നെ മനസ്സാറും ഉണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ ആരെയും റെപ്രസെന്റ് ചെയ്യണം കുറച്ച് ജൂനിയേഴ്സിന് നമുക്ക് വിടാമെന്ന് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പൊ ആൾ അഗ്രി ചെയ്തില്ല.
Hello.
അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ആരും പോകണ്ടെന്നുള്ള നിലപാടാൻ തോന്നുന്നു. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു ആ പോകണ്ടേ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് മോശമില്ല ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു എനിക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും നിവൃത്തി ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ പോയിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ കൊച്ചിന്റെ കേസ് കാര്യങ്ങളായതുകൊണ്ട്
Hello. Yeah. So it's uh, the function of the aqueduct in brain anatomy is to regulate cerebrospinal fluid flow.
I'm sorry, sir. I got a call. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, your voice was
Directors are
coming. So
called.
yeah, yeah. So I had to actually mute you because your voice was coming. Yeah. Okay. So the primary function of aqueduct in brain anatomy is to regulate the cerebrospinal fluid flow.
Good.
Yeah. So which part of the brain stem is most indistinguishable from the spinal cord? That means it is almost fused in the spinal cord. Pons, midbrain, medulla, or
Modular
cerebellum.
oblongata. These three are there.
Yeah.
Pons is like some hump kind of structure
Yeah.
is there.
Um,
So
so the lower part of
medulla,
the medulla is almost a part of the
or
spinal
part
cord.
of spinal cord.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How many segments are there in the spinal cord? Four, six,
Hmm.
7, or 31?
Sir, that we never covered spinal cord.
Spinal cord is the last part of the week 5. Ajay, I think that part is remaining for you. You have not yet covered.
No, no. Spinal cord, that I covered.
Ajay.
Yeah, this MRI didn't cover. MRI,
Okay.
like, this is 7, sir. L7.
It's 31. They are divided into
31.
total 31 segments.
But
Cervical,
L,
8. Yeah.
oh, total.
total.
But
Yeah,
we say
total.
that no L1, L2, some problem is there, nerve compression.
Yeah, that L1, L2, we refer not to the part of the spinal cord, that is the bone, that like
Bone. Oh,
bone that is covering it. So the spinal cord is divided into 31 segments:
segments.
cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, coccygeal. Yeah, this one, the coccygeal will be the last. You can say the one that goes till the bottom of our like structure, the last structure where our bone. You will see this. The bone kind of structure is there at the very last of our back, right? Where it like it ends. That is the coccygeal. One segment is there. So this also somewhat like responds corresponds to our body only, like which part it is. So cervical will be cervix. Thoracic means pertaining to lung area. Lumbar means after lung till your upper back. Sacral is the lower back area, and coccygeal is just below the uh, below your back, not at hip you will say, yeah, just below your hip. That will be coccygeal. Okay. What does the anterior part of the spinal cord primarily deal? Sensory processing, motor function, both sensory and motor function equally, or pro,
I think
proprioception.
C, sir.
No,
C, both
see,
will be there now, sir.
yeah. It's more about motor function. This anterior means the lower part. It is
Inside,
not talking
lower,
about the
lower
yeah.
part. Okay.
It's not talking about the superior. Okay, it's primary function. That is more. It will do more of motor function, motor neurons and muscles activity.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Which tract carries information from brain to the spine and is responsible for muscle movement? Again, motor neurons. Okay, anterior corticospinal tract, lateral corticospinal tract, spinocerebral tract, or vestibulospinal tract.
I have no idea, sir. In this lecture, I covered,
Okay.
but that
Yeah,
spinal cord is not there. That I'm
yeah.
sure. I'll
So
just
you
check.
will have
Week
to check, yeah, or just cover this part also, because spinal cord is also a very important part of our body. Okay,
But in
like
brain,
brain,
you see,
yeah,
fourth week,
mm,
brain anatomy 3D 1, 2, 3 is there. Kiss also
yeah,
is there. That I covered.
yeah,
Then it is in last, yes, spinal cord
yeah,
anatomy. I didn't cover that.
yeah. Yeah, it is
Week 5,
last
that
part.
is in week
Week
5.
five, yeah, last part of week five.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, sir.
Mm, yeah,
I didn't
it
cover
is
it.
there. Yeah, because I now I remember because last week we
Mixed
I
up.
did this mixed up, so I checked it again. Like
Checked it.
we,
But I think
yeah,
the spinal cord should come in this previous week.
week four. Yeah,
Because
ideally
otherwise,
it looked
after
like week four.
medulla, it should come to spinal cord. Now medulla comes,
Yeah,
MRI come. Then again,
yeah. Again, because MRI is mostly MRI is more about brain,
okay,
understanding
okay,
the brain, and then the spinal cord, and then
okay.
other techniques will come.
Then otherwise, can I ask one suggestion, sir? We'll
Yeah,
stop it here. Anyway, I only there. So
yeah.
I'll cover that one. Then we'll
Mm.
discuss
Enough.
five more
I think
questions.
4 or 5 more questions are there. We'll just cover,
Uh,
and whenever you get time, just revise this. Okay,
no, no,
so
next
that
class, before that I will cover, sir. Next class we will cover
okay,
this.
yeah, sure. Like
And
let's
nobody is there
complete
also.
this.
Na? If
Yeah,
someone is there, then
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Otherwise,
Sure.
other person can also see these five questions. Also. It's
Yeah,
my
sure.
suggestion. Finally, you
Yeah.
take decision.
So let's complete this
Finish.
problem,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
yeah. So how a touch proprioception and vibration sensation primarily transmitted in the spinal cord through slow fibers in lateral corticospinal tract, through superficial fibers in spinal thalamic tract, through fast receptor in dorsal column medial lamination system, or through vestibulospinal tract. So the correct answer is through fast receptor in dorsal column
Dorsal column
medial
medial.
lamination system. Yeah. Okay. So we'll stop here. Uh, I think,
Sir, you
yeah.
have the list of people who registered for the exam
No, I am just this tutorial TA, you can say.
part only.
Yeah.
But total how many registered and only you can see. No, normal
That
people cannot see.
no, that is
You
visible in
open.
this. Yeah, that is total number is visible in the course itself.
Mm. If we can contact them and tell them to attend, then it will be very nice. I will call them if
Yeah,
they have number or
yeah,
something.
yeah. But yeah,
It will
that's
be interesting.
yeah,
Somebody is there in medical background and all, they can
yeah.
explain little bit
They can
more.
yeah, they can discuss more. Like it is supposed to be more about discussion. It is
Mm.
because many people are not there, so I'm putting more questions and all. But it is supposed to be more about discussion, something everyone should be discussing about the week, and like that will be the most productive one. This class should be more like a discussion class.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
so that's all for today. See you in the next class.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't cover that